Hello, gorgeous. Sorry, I didn't mean to be gone for 2.5 weeks, or 3, but it's just been incredibly busy, and it's also bad allergy season for me. And, you know, the usual, I put my back out, I've been having headaches, having sinusitis, and the dog ate my homework, you know, the whole bit. But happy Halloween. In honor of Halloween, I'm here to do my annual Halloween thing. This is going to be different, though. This is inspired by a video that Glitzy Fritzy did some months back, wherein she used all of her old makeup, her oldest makeup, and this is going to be horrible. You're going to be appalled. You may want to turn away because there's some really old stuff here. I just, you know, washed my face. It's nice and moist. And I say that because I'm going to be using a tinted moisturizer. But before that, and I might not, you know, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. I've lost my glasses. Okay, this is Clinique Pore Minimizer. And if I remember correctly, this is the very first primer of this kind. It's supposed to minimize your pores. And I got this probably, I don't know, I guess in the early 2000s. Anyway, I typically just put it on my nose. So, in other words, this is probably, you know, between 18 and 20 years old. But here I am using it. That's number 1. Now, in lieu of foundation, I'm using up my oldest foundation type of thing, and that is, I have a couple samples left of the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. I have 2 of them. They're on their last leg. I hope there's actually enough. And you're supposed to put it on clean, dry skin. That's why I've put no moisturizer on. And I would say I've probably had these 15 years or so. I actually did at some point have a tube of this, and I used it up. It's looking really dark. That one is anyway. They might be 2 different colors. See, that's no, that's not me. All right, let's see about this other one, which looks far more likely. Yeah, this one's my color. Okay. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see if it curdles on my face and if I look like a proper Halloween monster or something. I don't know. It's looking almost as dark as the other one. It's weird. It doesn't look as dark in the tube. Ah, horrors. I mean, no offense to anybody when I say this, but I look like the former president. Maybe this is the color he used. I don't know. I was reading about the other day, by the way. He did not use a sun lamp. He just did apply kind of a tanner every day. And I don't know, I think he picked the wrong color. That's just my personal opinion. Because to me, he always looked orange on camera. Just like I'm looking right now. All right. I'm just going to kind of... This is a disaster, huh? Maybe that's why I never used these. Oh, good. I have a little towel here that I can use to wipe this mess off my arm. Okay. What I'm going to do, and this may or may not work, I'm going to add just a little normal moisturizer with this, maybe to just kind of even it out a little bit. We'll see if it works. I don't know. But this is really, truly horrible. See, not my color. Not my color. But you know what? I don't remember these coming in different colors, so maybe it just turned over time. I don't know. Oh, well, no, I've been maybe mistaken about the whole thing, because look at that with the ring light on. It looks really normal. Okay, I know that causes a lot of glare, but I think I'm going to leave it on because obviously there was nothing wrong with the color, and it's just those lamps. I'm embarrassed. Okay. Second would be this Yves Saint Laurent, what is it called? Touche Eclat. I can't really see y'all, but this is my oldest concealer. And if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, it's like the first concealer I ever remember seeing. And I bought this either right before I moved to Mississippi. So that would be 22 years ago. Okay, let's see how that looks with the... I get some glare no matter what in here. I'm really having big plans of working on my lighting because it's obviously not working. Okay. Next, my oldest blush, which I probably bought, I'm sure I bought after I moved to Mississippi. And that is this Benefit tint. As you can see, I haven't used it very much. But it's a liquid blush. So yeah, I'd say this is probably 15 years old or so. I've always liked this, by the way. It's just I've got a million things to use, you know. I really need to follow the example of Elle is for living and not buy anything until I've used up everything I've got. I would make an exception of palettes, but, you know, other than that, not until I run out of stuff. I've always liked this, though, because it's just a really natural color. It's, you know, kind of, it looks like a person blushing. Okay, let me give that a second to dry. I'll tell you what's been going on around here. We've been watching, I mentioned this somewhat before, but we've been watching a lot of silent movies and reading a lot of books about silent movies, actors and actresses, and just having a really great time. I mean, we've always shared a love of movies, but not always the same movies, and this is something we both really are enjoying, so can't tell you how much. Okay, y'all are gonna freak at this one. Are we dry? No, I need to give it another minute. What else? I just haven't felt tip-top, which is, you know, why I'm going to be getting back onto the Battle of the Foundations and mascaras, if not this week, more likely next week. Let's see, I'm almost through with my holiday shopping. I've been really on top of it. Okay. Next would be my powder. Y'all aren't going to believe this. I've mentioned that when I was 22 or 23-ish, had my first job and marched my butt down to Neiman Marcus and bought the whole Erno Laszlo thing. Well, guess what, y'all? I still have my powder and haven't used it up. So let's see if it does horrible things to me. My guess is it won't make any difference at all. I have a feeling powder doesn't go bad. I'm just guessing. And that's not the oldest thing I've got. By the way, I'll let y'all know next time I see you whether any of this stuff, you know, broke me out or anything. All right, let's try it like that. Still looks pretty good. Okay. Sorry for the rattling. I'm just clearing my space as I use it. Okay, next would be, let me see what I just dropped. It sounded important. Indeed, my mirror. Okay. Because when I get to the eyes, I'll need this. Contour. I would say that this is my oldest. This is Wet n Wild Color Icon, and the color is, this is famous, y'all. Bronzer, SPF 15, and the color is Reserve Your Cabana. But me and everybody else I've ever seen has looked at this and said, contour? I mean, it's lighter than my powder. I don't know what they were thinking. So instead of using my oldest, which I've always used as powder, by the way, I'll use my second oldest. And this is probably about 10 years old. And this is Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder in medium. Forgive me if I'm humming. I hum when I'm in a good mood. Okay, so that's Mr. Aucoin. May he rest in peace. Next is my luminizer. I say that because it's Cindy Luminizer, so it's the first highlight I ever bought, and you can see why, of course. Not that it was named after me, but anyway. And it's pinkish. I've always liked this because it's not too intense as some of them are. Okay, next, y'all are probably going to love this. So my beloved roommate, Miss Perry, and I, let's see, we became roommates we were besties starting at about 79. We became roommates, I think, in 81. And she and I went down and signed up for an agent. It was a modeling / acting agency, and I think it was called Ben Shaw. This is in Houston. And she did get, I never heard from him again, and she did get some gigs like passing out samples of cigarettes and stuff. But they also lured her into selling their cosmetics. And one of the things that she fell in love with, and I bought a lot of the cosmetics, duh, I was me even back then, was this powder that they sold specifically as an eyeshadow base. And this is before such a thing existed, to my knowledge. And this very creamy powder, you put it on, and before you put your eyeshadow on. So there it is. I'm trying to make it last forever. So I actually use similar things like the Wet n Wild, I believe it's Eclair, because to me sometimes these work better than, you know, eyeshadow primers. But anyway, we love this stuff. So yeah, 81. What is that, 40 years old? But I've hit pan, hey. Okay. All right, let's see. What shall I do next? I think I'll do my eyebrows. Okay, my eyebrow pencil is another item that I bought at good old Neiman Marcus in Fort Worth, probably a couple years before I moved to Mississippi. This is Chanel Taupe, and also called Blonde. Why I got blonde, I don't know, but it looks right anyway. So this is probably 23, 24 years old. But you know what? If you, right before you use it, if you sharpen it, you're getting fresh pencil. So if it hasn't gone bad, it's still good as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, you wouldn't think, but that really is the right color for me. Look at that. I'm not symmetrical, y'all. I am having some eyebrow growth from, what is that? Whatever. What is it? Careprost. And I don't know, we'll see if I'm having any eyelash growth or not. Anyway, so there's that. Not symmetrical. Okay. This one might trip y'all out a little bit. No, it won't. Okay, you've seen this before. I've mentioned this before. This is my favorite all-time eyeshadow. And I probably bought this around 79. Yeah. And this is Ralph Lauren, who had makeup very briefly. Eyeshadow called Kumquat. And it's still my all-time favorite eyeshadow. But that doesn't make a look, so I'm going to use my other oldest one, and this is a Chanel quad called Les Imaginaires. Berry, vanilla, marron, and lilac. And there's that. So I'm going to use these in conjunction. I'm going to do a pretty simple look. Okay, just above my ashes is where I'm going to use my favorite kumquat. Oh my gosh, see, I love that color. It's just, I don't know, it's my favorite. It always has been, ever since I bought it. And part of it, it's not just the color, but it's the texture. I've never found an eyeshadow with this texture. The texture is very much like what I used for the primer. It's powder, but it's kind of, it feels creamy. Very soft and creamy. Oh, y'all, please forgive me if I sneeze. I did call in a prescription, and the doctor prescribed this nasal spray, and it's kind of thing, I think it numbs out your sinuses or something. And it's vile. It's very bitter, and it goes down the back of your throat. It's just nasty. But it works. Okay. All right, we have learned recently that we're better off using the darker color in the crease. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, and then across the top, I'm going to put this, now let me do the pink one down here. It's got a little sparkles to it. Okay. Next, y'all are going to freak. You'd have to be my age probably to even know what this is, but this is mascara. This is Maybelline. The name has sort of worn off. Color is sable brown. Here's what it looks like. I bought this at the very first time I went to a dollar type store. I think it was called Everything a Dollar. And this was when Richard and I were dating. And we made a trip to San Antonio, and there it was, and it was $1. And I bought several of them. I don't know what happened to the others. But anyway, in case you don't know, actually let me curl my eyelashes first. This is about 20 years old, and this is my Shu Uemura eyelash curler. It's my favorite one. I bought it on shuuemura.com. No primer, so, you know, who knows that'll do any good. And I'm going to have to turn on the ring light to do this at all. Anyway, okay, so I have just taken the brush. Instead of spitting, I have dropped it in some water. And you run it across this thing here. Let's see if I can do this like, let's see. Okay. Let's see if it's got any oomph left here. Okay, it doesn't look half bad. I don't know if when I bought it, it was old stock or if it was just kind of the end of the line for this kind of mascara, because I remember buying this color, but I also bought some that was kind of that midnight blue. But anyway, so I've had this 31 years, and it's the first time I've used it. It was used as a prop on stage once, though. Okay, we're getting now to the truly horrifying. No, we're not. Let me do my eyeliner. This was my mother's. You can't see it, but it's Victoria Jackson, who used to sell on TV, like infomercials, I think. And it's brown. And so this is probably from 87 or so. But it's very nice. I've always liked it. It's nice and soft. It still is. All right. Yeah, now comes the horrifying, really horrifying two things here. These two items are from high school. From my first year in high school, 10th grade, which would have been 1970. So these items are 51 years old. This, you can tell by its red color, is Maybelline, probably. It's so old, see the paint is worn off, but this is a lip pencil. And this is a Max Factor brush that can be, I've always used it for lipstick, but it could probably be used for eyes too. But anyway, I did just sharpen this pencil, and it seems like it's still okay. We'll see. Okay, there it is. Okay, and then the final thing we have here is it's the perfect red. Don't let anybody ever tell you wrong, but it's always believed to be the perfect red. And it is Paloma Picasso Mall Rouge red lipstick. And it's the perfect red. And it's really old. And this was used in a play too, same play, because it looks like an old tube. It's kind of short instead of bigger like our current tubes. But anyway, it's the perfect red. Anyway, because it's old, anytime I use it with the lip brush. So I'll use it with the 51-year-old lip brush. And there it is. It's perfect. That's why I can't make myself get rid of it. So I only save it for really, really special occasions. Same thing for this the Kumquat Ralph Lauren eyeshadow too. It's okay. Let me try to come in close first with the ring light, and then I'm not putting that in the battle of the eyelashes, but I thought I'd let you see them. The only thing I would say is, I don't know, maybe the blush is alright. I could maybe use a little more with that blush, but I think it's okay. Anyway, so that's it. My oldest cosmetics, and after this, all but those 2 items are going to go into the use-up basket, which I mentioned to Elle I'm going to finally start a use-up basket and use up my cosmetics. So anyway, the horrors. I can't remember. I'll put a link to Glitzy Fritzy's video that inspired this one, and I mentioned to her I'd like to do it, and she encouraged me to do so. So I can't remember if hers was as horrifying. I don't think it was. I don't think the stuff was quite as old. I hope I haven't given you any anxiety about using old stuff. But anyway, this was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. See y'all either tomorrow or next week. Love y'all. Bye.